day, friends. We are here to discuss today the IPO from Antony Waste Handling Cell Limited. This is a very interesting IPO for a couple of reasons. One, this IPO had made an attempt to tap the capital markets in the month of February, March 2020, just before the lockdown actually was initiated. It failed to get the adequate subscription. The issue was extended. Even after the extension, the company did not get the adequate subscription, and it was technically forced to withdraw the issue. This issue is now coming at the fag end of the calendar year, and from the way the things are going, it appears that it is a dash to tap the markets. It appears that the preparation of the company in tapping the markets is not adequate, and they seem to be doing things in too much of a hurry. Let's come to some numbers which are very, very interesting. The issue opens on Monday, the 21st of December, closes on closes on Wednesday, the 23rd of December. The price band is 313315. There are a lot of discrepancies in the numbers that they have reported in terms of EPS, in terms of PE, in terms of NAV, and it gives you a very, very confusing picture. I'll try and help and take you all those three. I believe the company would, at an appropriate time, maybe on Sunday, maybe on Monday, possibly clarify some of these numbers which seem to be a little out of place and correct them. However, we as investors in this company should take note of the fact, buyers beware, do your homework. I will also make an attempt to take you through some of these possible pitfalls from these numbers and look at it. So let's dive straight into the business. The company is a waste handling, solid waste, municipal waste handling company, which has its operations in Mumbai as one of its primary centers. It is located in another 17, 18 municipalities across the length and breadth of this country. It uses a cluster approach. It has recently bagged a major award for waste to energy from the Pimpri Chinchwad municipality. It also does mechanized sweeping operations. It also does collection of garbage from homes, commercial centers, establishments. The lockdown has impacted the company in one simple way, with city centers, that is the commercial centers, the hubs, the malls, cinema complexes, etc., closed. The total garbage collection has come down quite a bit. If you notice, places like eating houses, restaurants, hotels, etc., are other places where municipal waste is generated. So this municipal solid waste, MSW as it is known, the manufacture or the production of this has come down, which has affected this business. Let's come to some numbers now for understanding purpose. The company says that the EPS is about 27 odd rupees, and therefore the shares are being offered at a multiple of just about 11 point something. The fact of the matter is that they have taken this on a diluted equity, which, according to me, does not give the correct sense of the word, simply because the equity of the company, which the company has shown in the document, is lower than what the equity was in financial year 2019, and it is back to the same norm or the same level as it was in 2019 and 2021. Why the equity went down in 2020 beats me. I am very, very open to saying this, that whatever may be the treatment that the company has done in calculating dilutive EPS, it does not give conventional wisdom that the equity of a company actually reduces because they have instruments of to be converted which are pending, get converted in the year, and on weighted average actually reduce the equity compared to the previous year, and the number goes back. So I am eliminating these apparent doubts in the mind of the investor, and I come to my set of numbers. I would like to refer to my notes because there are so many numbers which get into this picture. The profit that the company has made is is just a moment is 42.28 crores on a consolidated restated basis for the year ended FY20, which on the fully diluted equity as of 31st March 2020, which is also the number of equity which is there on 30th of September 2020, which is 2.55 crore shares. The EPS comes to 16.52, which makes the P multiple 18.94 at the lower band and 19.06 at the upper band. So you are buying this share at a P multiple of 19 and not 11 point something, which is being mentioned by the company in its statement. This is just being highlighted for the benefit of investors, considering the fact that there is something known as understanding of what the document means. Let's come to another interesting angle, which is the NAV, net asset value of the company. The document states the NAV to be 136.81, which has actually reduced to 89 point, which has reduced to 89 something after making a profit of 7.68 in the 6 months ended September 2020. If there is no dilution and the company is profit making, there is no way on earth that the NAV can reduce. So here again, there seems to be something wrong. According to me, the actual NAV, instead of being 139 odd rupees, should stand at 132 point something. And if you add the 7 rupees 68 paisa, which is the EPS that the company has earned in the half year ending September 20, that number comes to 89, which tallies the number as stated by the company. I am surprised that there are such anomalies in this particular document, and it speaks very poorly of the auditor of the company, which is Grant Thornton. It also throws I would not say anything else, but it also throws a question mark on the merchant bankers of the IPO, which is Equirus and India Infoline. I am sure once this video is released, they will look into this issue as to how there could be such discrepancies. I'm sure it is not the intention of the merchant bankers or the company to misguide investors, but all four of them, that is the two merchant bankers, the auditor, and the company, should be collectively taken to task for giving this set of numbers, which appear to be certainly incorrect, inappropriate, and creating confusion in the minds of investors. Let's carry on with the objects of the issue. The objects of the issue are a couple of them. One is to infuse equity into the waste to energy project that the company has bagged in Pimpri Chinchwad. It's also to reduce the overall debt of the company and, of course, attain the benefits of listing. A large component of this IPO, which is 85, which is 300 and sorry 215 crores, is an offer for sale, while 85 crores is for a fresh issue. This 85 crores, when compared to the previous attempt when the company was coming in March, was a fresh issue of 35 crores. So the size of issue has increased significantly. Uh, a little further on the business model, they generate compost, they generate uh, RFD, which is residual fuel derivative, uh, uh, RDF, which is refuse derived fuel out of processing the waste. And now they will also be having a bioreactor through which they will be generating methane. They already generate methane from the waste. They are now going to generate electricity by using this process, and that would sort of be a multi-purpose activity. One, you get rid of the waste, the residue of that forms landfill, and you generate electricity which can be sold commercially, whether it is to the municipal corporation or to private parties, depending on the agreement. How does this company look to me going forward? I had liked this company when it came public in the previous avatar in March 2020, and I had actually coined a term, waste to wealth, and I still stick to that. While the numbers look encouraging, while the business looks competing, competitive, growth oriented, there are a few competitors, not too many of size in this business. Primary competitors are Ramki Infra, based out of Hyderabad. You have Anthony Waste. Incidentally, Anthony also has an advantage. They One of the group activities is Anthony Motors, which is a specialist in body making works. So they are able to get their vehicles which are required for garbage collection. And if you are a Mumbaikar, you would have seen those small pickup vans, garbage pickup vans, which come. These are specially designed to pick up garbage from the congested areas of Mumbai. They are small in size, and depending on the trip and the garbage collection, they are very much economical compared to the large dumper trucks that one normally sees. So, uh, all told, while the company looks good, interesting, the issue opens on Monday, the 21st of December, closes on the 23rd. The anchor has been finalized on Friday. Uh, 44% of the anchor portion has been given to MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. State Bank of India has been given a State Bank of India mutual fund, along with its various schemes, has been given 40%. There are two other investors. One is a pension fund, and the fourth one is Tata AIG. So, all told, other factors seem to be okay. I am a little unsatisfied with the kind of disclosures that have come up from the company. Firstly, on these numbers, which don't seem to gel, which don't seem to match, and leave a sour taste in the mouth. And of course, the fact that nowhere in the document have they mentioned that they had made an unsuccessful attempt to tap the capital markets in February, March 2020. I'm not sure of the legal implications, whether such an announcement needs to be made or not made in the document. But as far as corporate governance goes, it would have been very much appreciated if the company had mentioned that they had made an attempt which did not go through. Hope you enjoyed listening to a different type of analysis this time around. Thanks for your patience.